Hey guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're here tonight having a really open, candid conversation about Darfur, what's been happening in Darfur, and what continues to happen in Darfur. Nesma was doing a live video and I wanted to join her. We talked about this earlier today. The situation in Darfur requires people to have their backs, and we've got to do something about what's happening there. It's unacceptable that our brothers and sisters are continuing to die in Darfur. We have to speak up about it, because if we want to be taken seriously, if we want this revolution to be successful, if we want to have freedom, peace, and justice for all Sudanese people, then what we're going to have to do is we're going to have the opportunity to talk, to speak up. We want them to stand up and stand against genocide, stand against the fighting and the killing that has been happening there. And if we're going to be successful in doing that, then we're going to have to, as soon as possible, condemn the killing that happens there repeatedly, right away. There shouldn't be any, moments of hesitation to condemn the killing. So I'm here with Nesma. This is really her live that she was having. We are upset. We are upset that this continues to happen to the people that we know and that we love, and we are not going to be quiet about it. We're going to stand up against it. Nasma, you were telling me a little bit earlier about the people who are being affected currently by what's been happening in Darfur. You have a very long history of dealing with the oppression from the Sudanese government. You know, you faced it hands-on when you were in Sudan. Somebody said there's something wrong with the broadcast. What's wrong, guys? Can you hear me? My voice is gone. You guys can't hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I'm glad you can hear me. All right. I think they can hear us. Let's talk let's pick up where you just left off in your live video. In your live video, you were talking about the fact that people have a right to self-defense. Honestly, that's what you were talking about, a human right to self-defending yourself, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's a basic fundamental human right to want to defend yourself from what you have experienced and what you experience. I feel like it's sad that the conversation is going there. Why do you feel like that's the only option that some of these people have anymore? Because the government isn't doing what they need to do to properly protect them. That's
Right.
a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact that the government isn't doing what the people need for the government to do so that these people can have the protections that they need, right?
Yes, and that's the only choice at this time, at this moment. There's no other choice. There's no hope. Hamati is over controlling the entire Sudan. Burhan is with him. And Hamadog is just there. He doesn't really care about citizen too, because he's scared of his life, for his life.
Yeah.
So, and he's not saying, oh, you need to stop that killing. He should have at least made the statement about it.
Yeah. The people who
But
are
he didn't.
just joining and the people who don't understand what happened in Sudan over the last couple of weeks and really over the last 18 years is the fact that there has been recently, over the last couple of weeks particularly, but I don't feel even comfortable just saying that. This has been happening for 18 years. The escalation that we've witnessed in the last couple of days is because all the news articles you read, it says unarmed militias are coming in and they're attacking the people who live there. And it doesn't indicate who is responsible for the killing there. We know that there's a history of killing there. We know that the people who have been responsible for that history of killing in Darfur have been the Rapid Support Forces. Now that we have someone in the government who was a former and still the leader, essentially, of the Rapid Support Forces, we have no reason to believe that he is not responsible for this atrocity as well. It doesn't name it in the articles. I read Al Jazeera, I read Arab News, I read the United Nations report. Again, it does not indicate who is responsible for these
Because he
attacks.
doesn't allow it to happen. He doesn't allow no one to mention his name, and that he's killing Darfurian, he's killing the citizen.
Yeah.
He don't want people to know that.
No.
And I'm sure in Sudan, everybody knows that if you do something that government they don't want, they're gonna chase you down, and that's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
People are scared of them.
Mm-hmm. And they're attacking these camps in the middle of the day. I mean, they're going
Yeah.
to these attacks and they're going to these camps. The people that we're talking about right now have dealt with war, with the government genocide for 18
Hmm.
years. But these
Right.
are people who are living in internally displaced persons camps, IDPs. They're
Yeah.
internally
Yeah.
displaced people in their own country. And they're, I mean, just imagine attacking refugees who are sitting in their own, in these camps. These are some of the most vulnerable people in the world in Sudan.
Right. And yet they're still attacking them and killing them and abusing them physically.
Yeah, raping
And what?
women.
Yes, raping women and the girls and taking the little boys. And I think we should, as Sudanese, we have to unite and stop this because the government will not stop. He will never stop it. No, no matter who will come and who will go, it will be the same exact issue.
And I mean, we talked about this before, but if the military and if the government aren't able to secure the borders, to secure the people who live within those borders, then it's not really completing its job of protecting every single person. And then there's an element of it, of course, that we've discussed on multiple occasions, Nespa, an element of racial divide. Before they were able to get away with this because of the fact that the Bashir regime deliberately went out and sought to kill people who live in Darfur, Port Sudan, South Sudan, Nuba Mountains, and they kept us all
Yeah.
divided. We had a revolution last year whenever we said that we are all Darfur, we are all one Sudan, Kula Wahid. So it undermines the entire revolution whenever one group of our people are being subject to this type of violence at the hands of armed, unidentified soldiers. But I don't think it takes a lot of imagination and creativity to figure out who is responsible for this. Who is
We,
responsible for this?
we all know it's Hamati. Hamati, Omar Bashir passed it down to the Hamati and Burhan. I
Right,
mean, he left the office, but it doesn't mean that they're not doing his job.
right, right,
So, and the matter is behind that because they pay Hamati and Burhan to kill people.
right. I mean, so what
So,
what can we do at this point? Because we know the fact of the matter, and I'm not saying that like you and I have a plan on what we're going to do, but I'm saying
yes,
that
we are.
to
Yes.
understand the depth of this, ultimately, Burhan and Hameti are supported by the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia. They're
He
supported
is.
by them financially and militarily, they're supported by them. The fact that they're
Mhm.
interested, and you and I discussed this a little bit earlier, it seems like interested in that land that is Darfur because it's arable land, it's land that can be used to farm, and
Yeah,
it seems as though the incentive there is to clear that land so that other people are able to use it for their own resources. Is that essentially?
exactly. That's the reason.
Okay. Okay. And so we know that from a geopolitical, perspective, that Saudi Arabia is supported by the United States, and it's also, and the UAE are also supporting Houthi. We
Hmm.
need we need the international community to support this transitional government, but I think that part of supporting the transitional government is looking at the limitations, I guess, security wise, that members of the government are facing because we have someone like Hameti and Burhan in the government who undermine the entire revolution. So, to support, I think, the transitional government, what we need to see happen here is we need to see Hameti and Burhan sanctioned by the International Criminal Court so that
Yes,
those two individuals should not be in the government. No
they
matter if
shouldn't have done. That was a big mistake from the beginning.
it was, it was, it was.
So my point of this, even the international community, they know what is happening in Darfur. They know what is the Hamiti have done. And they have the evidence, but they never wrote it down. They don't want to report it.
No.
Because
Yeah.
if the military is behind of that and they have interest with them, what makes you think they would give a care about that?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's so complicated, but it's not. It
It is
is
not. It's
not.
clear out there. It's
Right.
clear that we don't care if Darfur and down. We don't care if Nuba Mountain people are down because they are black and they meant nothing to us. That's what it is.
And
And we need
that's
to stop this.
and that is truly when you look at the mark of killing and the atrocities, the people who have endured the longest are the people who I don't know. It's hard for me to say these words because I'm a Black American. So for me to
Right.
say they're Black people who are being killed, we have to make it crystal clear that there is a racial divide in Sudan. That
There is. It's
while
been there.
I don't suffer from identity issues, I know I'm Black. We have people who see others as being different in Sudan than
Mhm.
themselves and fail to have, at least historically, failed to properly stand with the people of Darfur. But I do think that there is a desire amongst some Sudanese who live in Khartoum, who may, physically appear to be Arab, that truly do care about what's happening in Darfur. I don't think they are raising their voices as loudly as we need to hear them right now. They're
I
not.
didn't hear any. I didn't hear any so far. So
Yeah.
there's not.
And I think we need to hear that. We need to hear from the
We
people
do.
who are standing with Darfur, who care about the future of this country. We need to hear their voices. Like I said, you and I have a plan. We have a plan, and other people who are interested in participating, we'll need all the support that we can get. But amplifying the voices of people who are living in Darfur is what we as Sudanese collectively have to address properly now more than
We need
ever.
to.
We have to
Yes.
let the people know that we're not okay. Anybody who's looked at those images of the people wrapped in sheets, or if they're wrapped in totes, and their bodies laying on the ground as they go to dig the holes to bury their relatives, how devastating to know that people who were living in refugee camps, I mean, it doesn't get much worse than living. I mean, I guess an active war zone is awful, but it is an active war zone. Let's be honest here.
It is.
Anytime
It
that you
is an
can't,
actor.
yeah, anytime that you can't go home to your own land because
It
you're
is an actor.
fearing
Yeah.
retaliation, because you're fearful of retaliation. So what do? Nesma, you shared your story with us about how your family was pushed further and further into the mountains, and not even pushed. They came to kill people that day.
They they were coming back to chase people down and kill them. And then it came to the point that they used to climb on the trees so they could look at the people on the down or on the mountain that if they see them when the view is clear that they can shoot them. This is the clear message. I mean, like people like me, when I was during the genocide from the beginning, I hear them. We hear a lot of people hear them. They say we hear the claim the black people out there. They have to cleanse them out. Why?
Yeah.
We're not like in their land. We are on our. So why they there to cleanse that out? It's just it doesn't make sense. I mean, it's not confused, but it's clear.
Yeah.
So from my view, is this my point? We have to fight back. That's it. It's not gonna stop. Even the Burhan and this Hamiti, they change their mind. They will be always Hamiti. It will always be Burhan. They know how to kill Darfurian. They know how to kill, and that will not end good for us.
And Barhan and Hameti are the problem, but
They are.
really at the end of the day, I think that the Saudi Arabians and the United Arab Emirates interest in Sudan is what gives, and the money that they're willing to pay
Yeah.
is what gives incentive to people like Burhan and Hameti to keep going and fighting
Right.
against our people, marginalized communities. And the fact is that, you know, the Saudis and the Emiratis don't want to see the revolution be successful. They
It's
use our people to fight the war
for their
in
own
Yemen.
benefit.
Yeah, the wars in Yemen, and these are children. These are
Our
children
children.
who are being our children who are being, you know, kidnapped, orphaned, and bought into a system where the military pays for them. It's
They don't
injustice.
even pay for them. They
No,
pay for Hamadi only. All they have to do, go kill and get nothing. All you can get is to eat and survive.
yeah, yeah,
And that's sad.
it is. It is sad, Nesma, and it's unacceptable, and it's a violation of human rights and the dignity of the people who are on the
Yeah.
ground in Darfur. And the people who are on the ground in Darfur are our brothers and sisters all across Sudan. And it is now time to be louder in the streets. The
Including.
Yeah, the amount of people who, and it's not even, if it was one person who died, it would be too many. But the fact that we lost 60 people in Darfur just yesterday. We lost 60
One
people
day, just in
just
one day.
just yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, we lost 60 people to what? To what? You
For
know,
nothing.
and I read in the United Nations OSHA report that these people who had gone back to, the name of the town is Mustari. Can you say it for me?
Mystery.
Mustari. They had gone back to the town. They had been in the mountains, I assume. They had fled from their homes, and they had returned to their homes. And that's whenever they were attacked by these unidentified armed militia forces. What a
I
fucking
feel,
slap in the face. I'm so sorry for cursing everyone. What a
oh,
slap
I,
in the
I feel
face.
your pain. It's
To
understandable.
say
Look,
to
they,
say
they
that
didn't want
they
back.
Right. To say
Go
that
ahead.
they are actually unidentified when we know very well that the rapid support forces have been in the country killing and murdering and pillaging our women and our children for over a decade, almost 2 decades now, for them to actually say unidentified, unidentified, we know very well who the suspect here is.
Exactly. But they don't want to point at them because they're scared. Don't forget,
I'm not scared, and you're not scared, and we're not ever going to be scared.
we are
I,
here in America. That's why.
we are here in America, and thank God we have the ability. But I mean, we're talking to people, you know, we're going to keep talking to people. There's
Right.
video evidence on there's evidence of when the shooting began. There's evidence of the onslaught, the murder that was there. Are you meaning to tell me there are bullets that have pierced these people's skin? Tell me where they came from. Tell me where they came from. Tell me where they got their weapons from. Tell me.
From the
We
government.
Right, right, right. I mean, we're talking about a country where people can't afford a loaf of bread, and they got a whole armed a weapon to go and
To
shoot up
kill
and kill
others.
people,
That,
and they don't even have bread to eat. They don't even have bread to eat. They don't even have food to eat, let alone a weapon. A weapon. Are you kidding me? That's
to
who
kill
we're talking
others.
about here. These are the people that we're talking about here. You
Yeah.
know, I look at my. I don't care. It's okay. You should have told me to brush my hair before I came on here, but I just felt the need
Don't
to
worry
talk
about
to
it.
you.
People die.
No, it's honestly, my love. It is truly the way that this is being reported, the way that it's not getting the media coverage that it deserves, the way that people dying in Darfur is just another piece of news on the television, and it doesn't seem to really penetrate or matter. Just like black men being killed in America and
Yeah,
nobody saying it matters. It does matter. It
it
does
does matter.
matter.
It's
It
a life.
does. Yeah. Yeah.
This is it is hard to take it in, and And it's like for me as Darfurian, I feel like the second citizen in Sudan.
Mm.
Okay, and it's not fair that like, oh, because you're black, your life doesn't matter. God did not say that. And
No.
when you're being conceived, God didn't say you're gonna lie, you're going to the earth that you're gonna be white or you're gonna be black.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
No.
it has to stop.
And I know the reason you're bringing that up. I know we have a lot of people here who are listening who might be hearing about this for the first time, and I want to share with them that what we're talking about is about systemic oppression. We're talking about institutionalized racism. We're talking about 30 years of Omar al-Bashir, who's been
Yeah,
ousted, the genocidal dictator who killed millions of people, displaced millions of people ultimately. And we're talking about the fact that the individual who is now in the military transitional council, who then forced his way into government, is now threatening to continue with the tradition of murdering people in our country that the former regime started. And what we're talking about is the fact that we feel as though there's been a severe lapse in leadership when it comes to the current administration, a new administration. They have not stood up against the violence and the atrocities that have been occurring in Darfur for a long time. They have not properly dealt with the situation. Now, the prime minister did send, he says he is sending troops to protect the people in Darfur. I am interested in hearing more about that. I'm interested in seeing what is he really intending on doing, because whenever your right hand says that it's doing one thing, but your left hand is still doing something else, it's really hard to reconcile the difference between the two.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Did
yeah.
he send it yet? Because I'm sure the Khartoum is not too far from Darfur. So
No, that's exactly right. And how are we going to protect this? I read today in the United Nations report again that over 10,000 people have now fled their homes. There's complete instability across Darfur now, because we've seen attacks in Nertiti, we've seen attacks in can you tell us
Khartoum
where have we all seen cuts? Yeah, where have we seen attacks at, Nasma?
and Al Janana
Yeah.
3 times in the 2 weeks. Just in 2 weeks, 3 times in Janana.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's not just one spot. They're killing across the Darfur.
Right,
Period.
right,
Because their goal is one, to clean those black people out.
right, right.
We know our life matters to us. If it doesn't matter to them, it does.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And we've got to do whatever we can do to mount that coalition that makes sure that we put pressure on the Hamdouk administration to be vocal. We are, if he is really, and I'll say this, I know that some folks over there in Sudan watch these. I'm not talking about civilians. I'm talking about former Kazan elements that they watch some of the videos that come out of the West, and I'll say it for you live here. If if um, if Hamaduk is really about protecting Darfur, we're here. We are here to have your back. We are here to support you 100% in terms of fighting against the Kazan, against removing the Kazan once and for all. We are here for that, to offer the
Yes,
support,
we
to
are.
highlight Hameti for the monster and the villain that he truly is, the murderer that he is. I think that I'm not. I'll say it now that I think there's a special place in hell for people like Hitler, and I think there's a special place in hell for people like Hameti. Whenever it comes
Burhan,
to Emberhan, Emberhan. So we've got to do whatever it takes to highlight the situation, but not just highlight it, but demand for change. And I would just encourage the administration over there in Sudan, to speak up, speak loudly and clearly, because the people need
but
to know what you stand for. We need
right.
to know what you're standing for. So,
Yeah, like he has been. We talk about Hamadok. He has been there over a year, right?
yeah,
Well, if he's really want to leave the country, then he need to take an action. And a
yeah,
year is a long term of period to do something.
yeah, yeah. I got to speak up
So
loudly and clearly. Loudly
yeah,
and
why are you
clearly.
there? The country is bleeding. Why are you there when you have a mass graves every single day happening? Who are you? Why are you there? Even I'm just saying that if you want to work for your people, oh, let's protect them. Bring the new system that we want to see it in Sudan. But you're just there for an image.
Hmm.
That's how I feel.
I know how you feel. I know how you feel. I would feel the same way. Everything that you've been through, Nesma, has been it's not right that right now, as we speak, children are going through the very same thing that you went through as a
Yeah,
child.
and I'm hurting three times more than that.
Yeah,
It is hard to go all over again. And my head is in Sudan. It's in Darfur genocide now.
yeah.
The pain that they feeling it, I feel with them.
Because it's just been too much. It's been too many years with nothing changing. And we all had the hope last year that the situation was going to change once and for all. I know that there are players involved here that are bigger than just Hameti and Burhan. You have right across the Red Sea a war in Yemen, children dying, a famine in Yemen. We have food insecurity in Sudan. We have the lack of the oil resources
In
from the
Sudan,
South. And let me say
yeah.
something. If anybody ever wants to tempt the South to come back, I guess the first place you could begin is with peace in Darfur. They have no reason to come back because Black people in Sudan are marginalized, and are treated as second class citizens. Let's just be honest.
How,
Let's just
how
be
they gonna
honest
come
here.
back?
I wouldn't. I would
I
never.
wouldn't too. Like
I
they
would
need to stay
never.
where is the best for them. And if it doesn't get better, Darfur will be a park too. Sorry to say that, but that's the truth.
Honestly, 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 where else can people go if they can't even be safe in their own home? I mean, Nesma, I'm sure when you were a child, you never thought in your life that you were going to end up leaving your home and coming.
Ever.
No.
It was so peaceful, and that's the last image that I have. And then you once you know you were happy, once your country become a doom, that it doesn't stop. And then they talk about forgiveness. Who's gonna forgive you for that? Unless if you stop, okay. But you're not stopping. You're asking for people to forgive you. I wish I would. I would not. You ruin a lot of people's
When you're not even sorry, when you're still
life. Oh,
doing what you've been doing to me
yes,
forever.
exactly.
I mean, and let's not forget. Everybody says, "Oh, we have to forgive." Did we forget the same people who are wanting to give Hameti a chance? Are you not even aware of what he did on June 3rd? You
Because they
think
don't
he
want him to
won't
be
do it
there.
again? You think he wouldn't do it again? He's doing it now in Darfur.
You see, we have a lot of these Sudanese people. They're telling us, "You need to give Hamadi a second chance and Brahan and all that stuff." It will
Yeah.
never. It's not gonna happen. It's
No.
not. Even though if I forgive, my head will never forgive him.
No.
And my soul.
No, me either.
Uh, if he stop, okay, maybe a little bit, but it doesn't stop. It's even getting worse.
Yeah.
What makes you think I'm gonna forgive you?
Yeah. It's not even about forgiveness. I mean, God, why do we have to contextualize everything around religion? Truth be told, I mean, I hate to say that. I know I sound ridiculous, and some people are going to criticize me for that. But come on, I mean, you kill my family, you rape my loved ones. I can
Mm,
decide when I'm ready to forgive someone like that. And quite frankly,
right.
no, no. And then
It's
you
not
think
gonna happen.
you want my forgiveness to legitimize your power, to legitimize your power. That shows that you're not sorry. If you were
You
sorry, you would disappear. You would never ever come back for anybody to have to be under your power. under your
Right.
reign. But you want power. You want legitimacy. You don't want to be sanctioned by global Magnitsky. You don't want to be sanctioned. You don't want to face the same fate that Bashir is facing now. Take your money and go. Honestly, take your money
Yeah,
and go. It's not your money, but at the end of the day, take the little bit of money that you have and just go. Just
but that's
go.
the only way he can get paid, by killing. If he's not killing, he can get paid. I mean, you
Um,
have enough money. Stop it.
mm,
And the thing is that, to be honest, I don't think Hamati will never come down. I think he will just destroy the entire Sudan.
I
But he
think that's what
loves
he
to have
wants.
power.
Absolutely.
If we don't take him down right now, after 2 years, it will be too late.
He lacks a brain. He can't truly, he's not a visionary. He has no idea how to govern at the
Yeah.
basic level, no idea how to govern. He's in the way. He's in the way.
Even like whatever houses that you need in Darfur, like in the cities in Darfur, in the town, they telling the Janjaweed they can have the lands now. Like they can be there because they're there. But they brought them from different countries. But now they say, oh yeah, I need to accept them. Why would we have to accept them?
No, we don't have to do anything. We're building a
They're
civilian
forcing
government.
people.
We're building a democracy, and this whole system. This is the Kazan system. This is
Yeah.
the
Right.
Bashir era system. Okay, we need an independent government. Hamidulk is not even going to be there. Okay, he doesn't have an interest in power long term. He's not even going to be there. He's going to leave because we need to have elections, free and
Yeah.
fair elections. We need to nominate a real president, a civilian leader. That's the work that we really need to be doing.
Yeah.
We need to work on a civilian government, a
The
civilian
fresh
government that is
new
for the
one.
people. Yeah, a fresh new one. But that means that people like Hameti and Burhan have to go. I mean, how hungry can you be for power, for control, for dominance? You know what's interesting? If you look all around the continent, all around Africa, all of the dictators are falling. They're falling.
For,
You look at the
for
whole
money.
Arab Spring. Yeah, but they're falling. You look at the Arab Spring. Start in Tunisia and then go to Egypt and go here. And Egypt breaks my heart, so I don't even want to talk about Egypt because they failed their revolution because they decided, oh, we just don't like this guy, so we're just going to get rid of him. You don't do that in democracy. You democratically elect a leader, and then that leader rules, and then you get rid of them through a free and fair election.
Right.
So Egypt failed itself. And it's more complicated than that, truthfully. But the Muslim Brotherhood is still very alive and well. So when we talk about the Kazan, we're talking about the Muslim Brotherhood. We're talking about the survival of a governmental structure that was created to dictate and to control the masses through religion. Through religion. And this is not
Yes, and
Islamic
that's
at all.
wrongful. That's
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah, yeah,
Honestly, they need to leave this religion thing to God. If
yeah,
you want to worship your God, that's up to you. But you
yeah,
cannot just, you're a human being. You are gonna face God too. So why you have to force someone to do, and then you're using the God name and killing people?
yeah,
Which one's the worst?
yeah. I
And
agree.
beating up women in the street for not wearing hijab or hibaya.
Yeah.
How is that your business?
And thank God for our justice minister who is getting out there. And I know he's ahead of the curveball when it comes to, trying to undo a lot of the wrongs from the previous regime. I thank God for our justice minister. I know he's a good man. I know he wants to do the right thing by Sudan. All of
Right.
them are going to have a difficult time navigating what that looks like post Bashir. This is not an easy job. I don't pretend to say this is an easy job. What I think that the root of my anger comes from the fact that this killing is going on, the fact that there was no statement made at all. These peace talks that we're supposed to be having in Juba, yeah, I think that I was looking forward to the peace
That's
talks
a
being,
scam.
yeah,
Whatever's happening in Cuba is a scam. We
yeah,
all know that.
yeah,
We're not, who the hell they think they're gonna trick them to this mess?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
No.
no, no. I mean, how can they be peaceful if there can't even be a ceasefire? How can you ask
Exactly.
for peace if that while the talks are going on, there isn't even a ceasefire against the
That's what
people?
is killing me the most part. I mean, there's a fire heating up, and now you working here on the peace. Oh, I mean, what kind of brand are they using?
Well, it just shows that the people who are coming to the table are not committed to peace in Darfur.
Exactly.
It just
And
shows that. It
those
demonstrates it.
people who are the peacemaker in Sudan, if they have the heart and they truly trying to do that, they need to stop the genocide first, and then they can go to the peace.
Yeah.
Because it cannot be in one side people are killing and over here I'm trying to create a peace. It doesn't work like that.
No. And you have the genocidal I mean, this really gets at the root of the issue here. Bashir's incentive, really, for starting this genocide in Darfur had everything to do with control of resources in the western part
Yeah.
of the country. Not
Hmm.
oil, but other western resources in the
Yeah.
country. The fact of the matter is that they were able to get away with this for so long because they kept the country divided racially,
Yeah.
ethnically,
Right.
kept the country divided. And the thing is, we are open, our eyes are open now, and we know what's happening, and we're paying attention, and we're not forgetting. But the thing here is, I think the most critical element is who survived the Bashir regime? Who survived that? And who is trying
Only
to,
the
and when
maybe
I say who,
Khartoum.
well, when I say who survived it, I'm talking about government. In terms of the government, there are still elements from the Bashir era now in the
Mm-hmm.
government. And what's
Yep.
crazy is we have the element of the Bashir government, the element that was responsible for committing the genocide in the government, directly in the government. So he
Yeah.
is continuing what was started by Bashir. That's crystal clear. And then when I
Exactly.
read these articles that say we don't know who the gunmen are, I really? You don't know who the gunmen
They
are?
know exactly. I mean, it's themselves. They don't want to point their fingers to themselves. That's the problem.
Yeah, yeah,
This only the citizen of Sudanese will stop this, and
yes,
we have to unite like we did back in December. It
yes.
was a December or June when
December
December
2018.
2018, and that was the peace and that was a hope for every Sudanese.
Yeah,
But then what happened now? We need to go back to that.
yeah,
We lost a lot of good men during that.
yeah, yeah,
Not just in Darfur, even in the Khartoum. A lot of kids were dead because of it.
yeah,
Not, we need to build this.
yeah.
This Hamati, Burhan, they're not good for our country. They need to leave.
They do. They do need to leave. Quite frankly, I think that they should all be sentenced together and go with Bashir whenever he goes to the International Criminal Court.
Bashir is there. They rent a house for him. He's named Nigeria. I don't understand why he is there, like breathing healthy air when he killed all that people.
I know. I agree. I fully agree.
The law isn't really law, and the justice isn't really justice. Just a name in nowadays.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
It's that.
Well, we
And
are going to get busy. Go ahead, sweetie. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
it's
interrupt
okay.
you.
Go ahead.
No, no, no. You go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, even the international court, uh, they seem this. They see international court is to stop this genocide and all this human, uh, to bring the justice and the human right.
Yeah,
But what I mean, what they waiting for these years?
yeah.
All the evidence they have, the evidence are right there in the Google. They have in their folders. They have in their offices. But what they waiting for?
Well, the thing is, the problem here is that in order to actually try him in the International Criminal Court, they have to have him in person. And the thing is, all these places he's traveled, I think I read that he's traveled, I don't
Look,
remember the number, so I'm not just going
the,
to make up a number, but he's traveled to dozens of countries. And then nobody has given him
oh
up.
yeah, he did.
Now, yeah. So the thing is, with the
He even
International
went to
Criminal,
South Africa. He
yeah,
went to South Africa, and they
exactly.
didn't do nothing. I
No,
mean, I'm sorry to say this, but if the international court really wanted to have him in the court, he will go in Sudan and get him.
yeah. Well,
But they don't want
they,
to do that. They're
te-
wasting people's lives while they're waiting.
yeah, no, technically, in terms of state sovereignty, Sudan has to give him to them. What I don't
Well, I
understand
am
is
giving
why.
him to them.
I hear you. Me and you both. I told you. I told you. I won't say it dear, but yeah. The
Yeah.
thing is, he's going through his trial now. I've seen reporting that he will be given to the International Criminal Court eventually. We could get into the politics of the International Criminal Court, how the International Criminal Court is mostly white, how the International Criminal Court mostly goes after African dictators. My father and
Hmm.
I have talked extensively about the International Criminal Court and why my dad makes the argument Bashir should be tried right in Sudan for crimes against humanity. I don't agree with him on this one because I do believe that Bashir, we do not. God, I don't want to get in trouble for saying this, but I will say it. I don't think Sudan has the has properly removed the Kazan and the Muslim Brotherhood from running the show in Khartoum. I think they're still a part of the governmental structure. I don't know if we have the ability to try him the way that we need to try him in Sudan. I wish we did. I think he should go straight to Darfur and he should be tried in Darfur by the people right there in the country. But I'm afraid that he's going to escape. I'm afraid that somebody's going to give him away. I'm afraid that he's going to pay somebody and he's going to get off. I don't think that's acceptable. I
I
think that
mean,
Bashir should
he
be
been paying
tried and
people.
killed.
I mean, he been paying people just to cool it down. Keep it quiet for a little bit. Like he been paying people to buy the time.
Yeah. And this.
And
Mhm.
go ahead.
No, no, I was just gonna say in this trial now that he could face. I mean, I read in all of the articles he could face death for his role in the 1989 coup. Everybody's saying this is a sham trial. He's got over 100 attorneys on his side for the sham trial. I'm interested in seeing what the outcome of this trial will be because I want to see if they're able to properly convict him. They've found mass graves all across the country, specifically in Darfur. I think that it'll be interesting to see whether or not they're going to be able to try him fairly for this. And they say that the punishment could be up to death, for the
I don't
1989
think that the
coup.
punishment for him will be enough.
Oh, never. I mean, he honestly, he's going to have to go through many layers of hell to get the punishment that he deserves. But that's up to God. Only God can give him the punishment he truly deserves. Although, in the meantime, I think that for the reason of making an example out of Bashir to other leaders around the world who are committing genocides, including the Chinese government, who are right now killing the Uyghur Muslims and harvesting their organs right
Hmm.
now in
They
China
need to stop.
need to stop. And the United Nations is full of it because the United Nations will not even remove China from the Human Rights Commission. Move them from
Yeah,
the Commission on
they
Human
need to.
Rights. They have
But
no
you know why? They will not move them because of the business. It's
because of
all
the
about
business.
business.
Exactly. And so that is what we're dealing with. This is the world that we're dealing with. And so to
That's sad.
it is sad, but people like Bashir and this Chinese leadership, they all need to be tried for killing innocent people systematically based off of religion, based off of ethnicity, based off of all of the tenets of division. They need to be prosecuted properly for what they've done to our people around the
I
world.
agree.
But in Darfur specifically,
And the most importantly, we need a justice and a human right now.
yes, I agree.
And this genocide needs to stop, like right now.
Yes,
It's
yes,
enough.
yes, yes, yes. And the situation in Darfur is just, breaks my heart to know that people right now are hiding in mountains. They are running away, far away. They're crossing borders. They are fleeing from their homes. We have a COVID epidemic, a pandemic, excuse me, that continues
Happening.
to worsen. We have people who don't have food, who don't have water, who don't have
Mhm.
shoes, who don't have anything but the sun and the air in their lungs, and they're tired, and they need somewhere where people are going to stand up for them. They're going to represent for them. It is devastating that
I am one of
this
them.
is, and you are sitting here today, a survivor of that very type of situation.
Right. What we can do as Sudanese to stop this? That's the thing. The other part of Sudan doesn't seem to understand this.
I think we need people to. I know what we're going to do, you and I, and other
Yeah.
people who we're working with. I know that we're going to use our voices and we're going to make uh, our wishes loud and clear. But the people who are back in Sudan, who are afraid, um, this is only the beginning of what Hameti is capable of.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
And
it's, hmm
go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
And if we don't stop Hamadi now,
Mm.
later on we cannot.
No.
The entire Sudan will be only Hamadi.
Yeah.
And it's sad. You don't want that to see. And I'm saying this because it happened in Darfur. I don't want my other Sudanese followers to go through this. That man is dangerous
He
to
is.
himself too.
And, to Saudi Arabia and to the United Arab Emirates, I would just say get your hands out of Sudan
They need to
once
stay
and for
away from
all.
Sudan.
Leave Sudan alone. Yeah. Leave
Yeah,
Sudan
they
alone.
seem to be quiet, but they are in this deep.
Absolutely.
They're the reason why we're having genocide in Sudan.
Exactly.
And this into the December, what happened? They the one who brought Hamilton brought into the office. People are now stupid. We know that.
Yep. Exactly. Supported him militarily, supported the rapid support forces.
Initially.
These are the people who committed the atrocity on June 3rd. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? For once, Khartoum had a taste of what they're capable of, what they've been doing for 18 years in other
Yeah,
parts of the country.
right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's
It's got to
sad.
stop. It's got to stop. And being quiet and sucking it up and saying he's there, we just have to deal with it. No,
No,
we don't have to be quiet about it. We don't.
well, what's the point of being quiet, but everyone is bleeding in the country?
Yeah.
So to worship him because he was now he got a power he gained the power that he needed. Next time you have to bend down to him to worship him. That
No.
will be the next one.
No, that's
And
a dictator in the
we don't want
making.
that to happen.
No, he's a dictator in the making. His eyes are straight on
Yeah,
the seat of the prime minister. That's what he wants to be. That's what he wants to do. And over my dead body, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
we need to
Absolutely
stop
not.
him, all of us together, all
Yes.
Sudanese.
Yep. Yep.
Look at us now today. That even our neighbor countries. Look at the Egypt, look at Habash, look at Eritrea, look at Ethiopia, look at South Africa. Where are they at? We
Yeah.
were the biggest country in the Africa
We
planet.
were. We were.
Um,
We were. And we're about to be
and
cut again if we don't
it
get it
is
together.
sad. And when you say I'm Sudanese before, it meant something. It meant like you're proud to be Sudanese. Because Sudan, people knew Sudan was a peaceful country before Omar Bashir came.
Yeah.
So and everyone knows that Sudan is part of terrorists now.
Yeah. No more. No more being quiet. No more being silent. No
No,
more being silent.
it
You
has to
know?
stop.
Exactly. It does. And we'll be back. I mean, we have more to share. We have more to talk about. I think we will continue with our plan, with our initiative. And if anybody's curious or interested in assisting, especially if you live in the United States, we don't want to put anybody back home specifically, at risk. Although there are ways to become engaged, to be involved. Speak about it to your family, to your friends, what's happening in Darfur. Make sure people know about it. Make sure people care about what's happening in Darfur. Make sure
You
you're
know,
saying that it's not okay.
it's in Darfur, they even cutting off the system. When you're making phone calls, especially on the holiday, because they know people were gonna contact their loved ones, they will cut it off. Right?
Yeah.
Like they don't have no service, and the internet is not. And even though you have the phone, they will take it away from you.
Yeah.
People like hiding everything that they have. They can't even speak on the phone because they know, oh, if they speak on the phone, they're gonna spread the news.
Mhm.
They're
Mhm.
blocking them out.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's sad.
To silence people, to
Yeah,
cover up what they're doing.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it's not because I've been through, and I'm gonna expose you.
Yep. Me too.
I am
Yeah.
police. And Sudan,
Yeah.
this Sudan, the woman they need to run the Sudan. Not that they need to stop putting men in the office because they doing the killing part. They need a woman like you to come to the office.
They need a woman like you to come to the office, to run
Well, we can work
Sudan.
together.
Yeah, to run Sudan, to come together and to run the country. I support all of our sisters who got out there and were protesting in front of the prime minister's offices earlier this week saying that we need 40% of women in government. I support our sisters. We need 40, we need
We do.
50%. Are you kidding me? We need 100%. I'm playing, not
Yes.
100. We need
Mhm.
50%. 50-50. In fact, 52. Give us a majority, honestly.
It's not
51.
gonna be 50-50 because they always saying the woman is the weak. They always like, giving a look to the woman that they'll be fearing them. But I think if we're 95, I'm just saying, and there's gonna be just few of them, it'll be
Yes,
great.
it would be. It would be. Inshallah, this is the Sudan we're going to build. Really.
Right.
That's the Sudan we're going to build. You know what, Nasima, you're amazing, and God bless you. I'm so thankful I know you now. You're my sister. I'm going to stand behind you no matter what, no matter what. And I want us to be together. I want us to work together and to continue to
We
fight
will.
racism together, to fight for feminism together. And I know that there are a lot of great people out there who support this, who understand what's happening back in Sudan, who want to see a change in Sudan, who care about it, but they feel like they need the security. We're going to make it safe for
Mhm.
people to talk, for people to share how they
Yeah.
feel, and to build alliances with people who are trying to do the same work. We're going to continue to push for that. And so,
Inshallah.
inshallah, and I'm just so thankful I know you. I'm so proud of you. You have an incredible voice. I tell you this, and I'll continue to tell you the experiences that you've had to face in your life are so wrong. It's so unfair that you had to deal with that. But now, what you're using your platform to do, to share, to talk about these situations, and to speak out, you're a hero, Nesma. You're a hero for a lot of people because you know what it was like to be there, and now you're just not turning your back to it and becoming numb to it. You're actually speaking up and you're speaking out against this type of oppression,
Right.
this genocide. And I just think that we're going to have to continue to build together. And I want to continue to learn from you. And I know that everybody is benefiting from hearing your story. And not only hearing your story, you are a fighter. You're a fighter to the core. And I'm here to fight with you, my sister, because we're just going to,
Thank you.
we're not gonna be quiet. We're not gonna be
We
quiet.
will not.
No, no, we're
Thank
not.
you. I don't give up. That's my thing.
Yeah, I know. You're a fighter. You're a survivor and you're a fighter. And you're turning around and you're trying to help other people through what they've been through. So
Yes.
God bless you, Nesma. I'm proud of you.
Thank
I'm
you.
thankful to know you. And I just know that we're going to keep building. I'm going to go work on that letter now. I'm going to send
Okay.
it to you. We can
Okay.
post it here, and whoever wants to sign it is welcome to sign it. But we're not going to be
Okay.
quiet about what's happening in Darfur. And we would
Yes.
implore the rest of you to join us in that
And stand with
conversation.
Darfur, please.
Yeah, yeah. Stand with Darfur.
Thank
Stand with
you.
Darfur. Thank you, everybody who tuned in. We love you. We're here for you. If you need anything, we're here for you.
Right.
We salute you
Okay.
all.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nesma. I'm going to see you. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, inshallah. Thank you guys for watching
Inshallah.
this, and we will be back soon. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Be strong and good
Bye.
night. Good night. Bye.